Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the video. This is another paid request. This time for Aware Wolf. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal, usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the film The Prophecy from 1995. Now, it's been a while since I've seen this film, but I do remember liking it, and I still do. It's directed by Gregory Widen, who wrote Highlander. And this is the only film he directed. Which is a bit weird, because I think this film was decently successful, at least enough to get a bunch of sequels. 2 of them were Christopher Walken, and then 2 more after that. Maybe he just didn't feel the need to direct again. Maybe something else happened. I don't know. But pretty much the story is that a second war in heaven, angels are fighting angels. Some angels are mad at God because they hate that God has put his notice, his viewpoint onto humans, and there's a sense of jealousy. You know, we were the ones first to be loved. He doesn't talk to us anymore. Others are still willing to do God's bidding. And so the fight results in trying to find this dark soul. And it's going to be used as a weapon. And pretty much 2 factions trying to find this dark soul and who gets to it first. And this has a really good cast. I think that really helps the film. It's a pretty short film. It's not a bad looking film. It's a slick enough looking film that you see that it would get a theatrical release. And you look at the cast, you got Christopher Walken, of course, as Gabriel. One of my favorite performances of his. I think I did a list of my favorite performances. I think I put this in the top 5. Because any scene he's in, he steals it. With his demeanor, even though the way he looks, where the way his mannerisms are showcased. He'll do like a touch of the finger and he'll just douse his finger over here, and then his body starts on fire. The certain lines he's given. I will not allow any talking monkey to take my place. Or, great thing about conversation like this, not to have it again. Or, you know how you got that dent top of your lip? See, I told you a secret. And I put my finger there. And I went, shh. So, I mean, like, the way he explains how we got the dent on the top of our lip, it just, this is not sleepwalking. It's Christopher Walken, He just owns the role. And not only that, you got Viggo Mortensen as the devil, who of course found much success with the Lord of the Rings films. You got Eric Stoltz, who didn't get fired like Back to the Future. He's in the movie here as the good angel who hides the soul from the bad angel, Christopher Walken. You got Elias Koteas, Casey Jones from the 1999 Ninja Turtles movie. He's here as a detective who was going to be a pastor. He saw visions of this angel war, lost a bit of his faith, became a detective. You got Virginia Madsen from Candyman. She's a teacher. So a lot of recognizable people. And pretty much Elias Koteas finds this body that's been killed, who has no eyes. His body almost has the inner workings of a fetus. The board attendant, I do like his line, because the guy, it's an angel who, it's another bad angel Eric Stoltz had killed in defense. And when the morgue's looking at the guy, he sees that the genitals are not one or the other. Or I guess they have both. So he says he could be impotent and frigid at the same time. Something about that line made me laugh. And it's cool to see Elias Koteas in a leading man role. He didn't get a lot of chances to do that. In fact, very, very rarely. Because he's great in the 1990 Ninja Turtles movies, my favorite role of his. But like other roles, like he's in Collateral Damage in a supporting role, does a good job in that. He was an apt pupil. He had a small role. Again, good job in that. But it just, like I said, it was rare for him to get a leading man role. So it was, and he did a good job in it. And yeah, he's been good in almost anything. He was in the Thin Red Line. He was good in that. So, like I said, it was nice to see him get his chance in a leading man role. Virginia Madsen, very capable actress. And pretty much it goes with the detective, and Virginia Madsen's a teacher, and they work together to protect this kid who Eric Stoltz has hidden this dark soul in. It becomes almost a little bit like Terminator 2 being chased, but at the same time, not nearly as much action or intensity as the Terminator. And maybe that's like one of the issues is that, there's not a whole lot of action in the movie. There's not a whole lot of thrills in the movie. It would have been cool to see a lot more, like, chasing, whether it be car chases, physical altercations. There's only a little bit, like, there's a bit in a trailer where Walken is slamming Elias Koteas around and slams through the window. Sorry, now I'm getting hiccups, of course. And then Virginia Madsen gets a gun and says, "You can't have her," and shoots and blows up the trailer, and Christopher Walken flies back. But it's one of those things that the dialogue, and especially the actors, and it's also an interesting story. Angels going to war with each other, which they kind of did again in Legion, if you remember that film from, what was it, 2010 or so, with Dennis Quaid in it. That was even more like Terminator. I guess technically you say that has a bit more action, but this one felt like it had a little bit more class in terms of, again, the acting and the dialogue and such. I don't remember hating Legion, but I would say I like this film more. And like I said, Christopher Walken steals the show. Like I said, there's a bit where he'll find these people who are close to death, and he'll use them as his assistants, and he'll keep them between life and death. So, come on, you do what I say. I'll help you move forward. At first, it's this guy played by Adam Goldberg, and then he finds Amanda Plummer. Which is kind of like a Pulp Fiction reunion, because you got Christopher Walken, Eric Stoltz, and Amanda Plummer all in the same movie. And like he's in the hospital looking for it, and he's trying to talk to the female attendant. There's someone dying. I smell these things. Okay. And then he knocks her out, and recovering. Fuck that. He didn't say fuck that, but it just, like I said, it's a lot of fun and entertainment value to see Christopher Walken do his thing. And again, Viggo Mortensen does a good job as the devil. And I also like the idea that not all, but a lot of times you'll see these angels or the devil, and a lot of times you'll see them, they're perched, kind of like a bird. Like the first time you see Eric Stoltz, he's in Elias Koteas' apartment and he's perched on the chair. I know that seems goofy and silly, but if they're angels who are so used to wings, who are so used to being and acting that way, that's kind of a natural instinct for them. And the devil is a fallen angel, so they're so used to that with having wings, even if they don't have them, they still have that demeanor. I thought that was a nice touch by the writer. And Viggo Mortensen, like he's not in the film a whole lot, but when he's there, he gives a good, strong impression too. Per saying the difference between him and God. God is love, and I don't love you. In a split second, I could put you on the ground and put your feces in your mouth. If they did this Dark Soul, there'll be another hell, and that's two hells. What was it? Two hells is one too many. Two hells is one hell too many. And they're doing a lot better job than I'm doing with it. Even when there's another little action bit where Elias puts in a trap that fucks up the car that Christopher Walken and Amanda Plummer are in, and Walken's get up is like, man, you good. You should work for me. No one has to tell you when to go to bed. You can eat all the ice cream you want. I will say there are some issues I have with the film. Watch it again. Some of the effects do not hold up the best. There's a bit where Christopher Walken is talking with Eric Stoltz, trying to get information out of him. And the beginning of him starting Eric Stoltz on fire as the actor, and it's this kind of bad effect. Thankfully, it's short enough to not impede the movie too much, but it's iffy. Same with when the girl's possessed and when the soul's cast out. Some of those effects are not that great either. I mean, it's 1995, so those type of effects, CGI, however you want to put it, just was almost want to say still in its infancy. So the effects at times are lacking. Second off, it seems like there's stuff that's... I would bet this is a longer movie. Because I think it's Dimension Films, and Weinstein's usually put their fingers in and have shit cut out anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's why the director never worked again. Maybe the Weinsteins had their fingers on this movie too, and there's some... I guess there's a Vertigo Syndrome release coming out. I don't know, there's features. If so, I'd be curious to hear any stories. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but it feels like a movie that would have been longer because there are certain scenes that feel like it doesn't have a flow as it should. Like the first scene with Eric Stoltz and Elias Koteas. Something about that scene seems a bit rushed. Like we have to move fast and there's no room to breathe. Like he says his line, then he says his line, then he says his line, puts the gun down, then he says his line. And it feels like there should be more to the scene. Also, maybe I just missed it, but there's certain things that happen that I don't understand, and maybe a werewolf, maybe you could explain to me, and I just screwed up. If I screwed up, I apologize, but feel free to explain to me. How does Elias Koteas know to go to this town called Chimney Rock? Because that's where the little girl is, that's where Eric Stoltz is, and he gives the dark soul from this dead body to the girl to hide it. I think that's the name of the town, Chimney... Was it Chimney Rock? It's a town like that, and I'm sitting there going, well, how did he know? Like, how did Elias Koteas know to go to this place? Because the last we see of him at first is they had this dead body, then later Walken comes in, does the kiss of his finger, douses in flames. They go on saying, well, our body's gone. Guess we're going to this place. I'm trying to think, like, was there some type of information in a book that said where to go? Did Eric Stoltz tell him something and I completely missed it? Maybe I did. I might have missed it. But I didn't know how Elias knew to go to this town. And also how he knew to talk to this little girl. Because there's a lot of kids. Even Christopher Walken, he has this fun bit where he knows it's in one of these kids, but he's like trying to teach someone how to play the trumpet or whatever, and anything in there is like looking in the kid's mouths, so he doesn't know. And then Virgin Madsen gets in a truck and then goes to the little girl's place, and there's Elias Koteas talking to the girl. How did Elias know to talk to this girl? Again, how did he know to go to the town? How did he know this stuff? It feels like there's stuff that I don't feel were properly explained, or I'm just too stupid and I missed it. So maybe it's that as well. So, the little girl's acting is not the best. It's pretty meh. I mean, it's alright, but I've seen much better as well. And like I said, I do wish there was a bit more action. I wish there was a bit more of a chasing, being kind of like a Terminator. I wish it was more like a Terminator vibe in that case. So, those little nitpicks here and there. And one of them might not be a nitpick, it might be just me screwing up and not realizing it. But like I said, because I do like the story, I like the idea of angels at war with each other. I really do like the cast. It's a pretty short film, goes at a good pace. That's why I wonder, again, if this was a longer film and stuff was cut out, that maybe these plot holes would not have been as much of plot holes. Or, again, maybe just be screwing up. Even the end of the film, spoilers, where there's the devil, and then there's Christopher Walken, and then the devil gets Christopher Walken's heart, and then they get the spirit out, and then a beam of God's light comes up, and then this Native American says, the spirit is gone. And then the devil turns and wants Elias and Virginia Madsen to come home with him. That kind of just felt like out of the blue. And then Elias Koteas talking about how he has a soul. And then the devil leaves. Let's say it feels like something about it feels clunky. Like I say, it feels like there's stuff in between missing. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a first-time director and issues with that. But it's hard to explain. But it didn't feel like smooth transitions. But like I said, I do still like the film. Probably not enough to pay the exorbitant amount of money Viggo Syndrome showcases to get their releases. Because I don't have the film. I don't think I do. Maybe I do on like a cheap DVD. I couldn't find it, so I watched it online. But like I said, I probably liked the film less than I did initially, but I still thought it was a pretty decent movie. I still like it. And Christopher Walken, he's definitely my favorite part of the movie. And again, being a big Ninja Turtles fan, yeah, I'm a sucker for Elias Koteas getting a leading man role. Still the best Casey Jones out there. So those two things alone makes me enjoy the film, as well as, again, Virginia Madsen and Viggo Mortensen, who kind of wish he was in the film even more. He's having fun as the devil. And overall, still a thumbs up from me. So thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.